Case for the Hall of Fame, Alexander Mogilny. In this episode of Case for the Hall of Fame, I talk about why Alexander Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and the reason goes beyond hockey. Since this is the Hockey Hall of Fame we are talking about, you simply cannot leave out Mogilny's accomplishments before joining the NHL. Mogilny's first major appearance for the Soviet Union on the international stage was at the 1987 World Junior Ice Hockey Championships. He finished the tournament with 3 goals and 2 assists in 6 games. Due to a brawl that occurred in the last game of the 1987 World Junior Championships between Canada and the Soviet Union, the IIHF suspended all players involved in that game from competing in international competition for 18 months. The IIHF later reduced the penalty to 6 months, which allowed Mogilny to compete in the 1988 World Junior Championships. He was stellar in that tournament, putting up 9 goals and 18 points en route to a silver medal and winning top forward. His exceptional play earned him a spot on the senior team at the 1988 Winter Olympics, where he won a gold medal as the team's youngest player. The next year at the 1989 World Junior Championship, he served as the team's captain and was part of the commanding line, which included Pavel Bure and Sergei Fedorov, which led the team to a gold medal. Mogilny finished the tournament with 7 goals and 12 points in 7 games, leading the Soviet Union to the championship. Despite his success with the Soviet national team and his growing importance with CSKA Moscow, Mogilny yearned for a life in the NHL and decided to join the Buffalo Sabres, the NHL team that had drafted him. Mogilny boarded a plane in Stockholm at the conclusion of the 1989 World Junior Championships and defected to North America. Mogilny made his NHL debut on October 5th, 1989 against the Quebec Nordiques wearing number 89 and scored his first goal just 20 seconds into his first shift. Mogilny's first NHL season was solid for rookie standards, but a far cry from the lofty expectations he had, as he was considered to be one of the best players outside of the NHL. Mogilny broke out as a superstar in the 1991-92 season when he had 39 goals and 84 points, setting a career high in goals and points. After being acquired in a mid-season trade in the 1991-92 season, Pat LaFontaine developed instant chemistry playing with Mogilny, and the two players elevated their games to new heights. The 1992-93 season was a banner year for Mogilny, as he scored an astonishing 76 goals and 127 points in 77 games. His 76 goals tied Teemu Selanne for the NHL goal-scoring lead that year, which was the 5th highest season goal total in NHL history, and the first time 2 players developed outside of North America led the NHL in goals. Mogilny's 76 goals and 127 points set the highest season total for a Russian NHL-born player, a record which held until Nikita Kucherov scored 128 points in the 2018-19 season. Mogilny was named captain for the 1993-94 season and scored 32 goals and 79 points in 66 games. Due to the financial restraints brought about by contractual demands of LaFontaine and Dominik Hasek, the Sabres were forced to trade Mogilny to the Vancouver Canucks. The motive behind acquiring Mogilny for the Canucks was to pair him alongside his former Soviet World Junior teammate Pavel Bure in hopes of forming a dominant scoring line. Unfortunately, Bure missed their entire first season together, so Mogilny primarily played with Cliff Ronning and Martin Gelinas. Mogilny led the Canucks in scoring again his second year with 73 points, but that would be as much success as he had in Vancouver. Despite this, Mogilny had an outstanding first year, leading the team in goals with 55 points with 107, finished 3rd in the league in goals. Mogilny was traded to the New Jersey Devils at the 2000 trade deadline. As a member of the Devils, he was not nearly as productive, but he still had his moments. Mogilny helped New Jersey to win their 2nd Stanley Cup in franchise history, and with this cup, he became a member of the prestigious Triple Gold Club. The next year, in 2000-2001, Mogilny had his best season in 3 years, notching 43 goals and 83 points to help the Devils reach the Stanley Cup Finals for a 2nd straight year. During the free agency period of 2001, Mogilny signed a 4-year deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. After 2 productive seasons with Toronto, his production declined drastically after he underwent major hip surgery, and he was never the same player. Mogilny was brought back on a 2-year deal to New Jersey, but he was a shadow of his former self, as caused hip issues to continue to plague him. Mogilny finished his career with 473 goals, 559 assists, and 1,032 points in 990 regular season games. In the playoffs, he wasn't nearly as productive, but still put up 39 goals, 48 assists, and 86 points in 124 games. Why does Alexander Mogilny deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? From a skill standpoint, Alexander Mogilny is described by his peers and coaches as one of the most gifted, skilled, and natural hockey players in history. He had a rare combination of size, speed, agility, hands, shooting, and to top it off, a sixth sense to know where to be at all times. Often the offensive catalyst for his lines and teams, Mogilny led his team in scoring various times. Mogilny was also a strong two-way player thanks to his high-level hockey instincts and tremendous sense of anticipation. Based on his accolades from playing in the NHL and on the international stage, Mogilny has compiled the Hall of Fame resume. Mogilny was the first Russian to be an NHL captain, first Russian to be named to the NHL All-Star team, and holds the highest and second highest single-season point total for a Russian player. As of the end of the 2018-19 season, he is the third highest scoring Russian scorer in NHL history. Mogilny was only the second Russian player ever to reach 1,000 points in the NHL, hitting the milestone only a few days after Sergei Fedorov. Besides being an outstanding talent and having a Hall of Fame worthy resume, Mogilny also played a crucial role in paving a way for Russian players playing in the NHL. If Mogilny had not risked his life to defect to the NHL, then it would be a tough sell to get other Soviet star players to come over to the NHL until after 1990. Mogilny's importance in NHL history cannot be understated because without him, Russian stars like Sergei Fedorov and Pavel Bure may have taken a lot longer to come over to the NHL. Alexander Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because of the role he played in Soviet players defecting to the NHL and because he was a Hall of Fame worthy talent.